Hey friends, Mindy here with some encouragement for all of my parents out there who have back to school happening right now. I feel like this is a great time to address the meltdown situation. And whether your kid is little and they're having like tantrum kind of meltdowns, or they're older and they have just more emotional moments, it's good to know what to do in those situations. When your child has a meltdown, especially if they're little and they're flailing and screaming and you might be in public or around family or friends, it can be embarrassing, it could be emotional, it could be triggering for you. You might feel like, I look like a bad parent, everybody's judging me, or what is wrong with my child? Are they broken? And have I done something wrong as a parent? And it's so important to know what's happening and how we can help them through it so that we can teach them as they grow older how to self-regulate in these moments. That's the goal, right? So here goes. I'm going to give you an acronym, and I didn't make this up. This came out of a book called A to Z of Therapeutic Parenting, which I highly recommend, especially if you have an atypical child or a unique child with unique circumstances. Incredible book. But this comes from her, and I'll share it with you. It's mom tested, approved. I have 7 children, ages 16 to 7 months, and so I've experienced lots of different types of tantrums. And I could tell you that I've done it wrong and I've done it right. And this chick and this book has got it right. So let's get started. What do we do in the middle of a meltdown to help our child through it without losing our mind? Number 1, P. It spells parents, by the way. P is for pause. Don't react, because you're going to react out of emotion. You're probably going to do something or say something that doesn't help the situation. You might scream or try to shush them or even spank them to try to make it stop. None of those things will help them out of a meltdown. Pause. Assess. Are they in danger? Is somebody else in danger? Is there property being damaged that I need to remove? If so, remove the child or the other children from the danger, etc. So if that's the case, you need to react a lot quicker. If that's not the case, then move to step 3, which is respond. Pause, assess, or not respond. It's reflect. Reflect on what's happening. Is there a trigger? Is there a transition that's happening and causing this meltdown? Are they overstimulated? Are they hungry? What is it that's happening under the surface of this meltdown? This is in your reflection where you learn to not take it personally. You could easily be offended, feel like they're being disrespectful, rebellious, defiant, and your child might not be doing any of those things. They're not trying to defy your instruction or be disrespectful or hurt you. They're having a meltdown, and you need to know how to respond without taking it personal. That happens in the reflection state. And so then we move on to pause, assess, reflect, empathize. Now we get on their side. And so now that I know that I'm not taking this personal, and I'm not concerned about the people that are watching, what they think I should be doing in the situation, I'm going to empathize with my child. And in empathizing, I disarm them. I bring them out of fight or flight. I can bring down their emotion because they know I'm on their side. Even if they're screaming, I hate you, you're the worst mom ever, you don't love me, those things can make us want to rise up and lash back at them. But that won't help them out of a meltdown. What will help them is for you to empathize. Empathize out loud. You know what? I wonder if maybe something happened at school today that's causing you to say these really hurtful things to mom. I wonder if maybe you're hungry. And so empathize. Try to understand them rather than punish them right then and there. And then from there, we nurture. And that might mean a really big, long hug. That's just what they need. It may mean that you put them up on your lap for a minute and just sit in silence. It may mean you don't touch them at all because they're overstimulated. Maybe it's a blanket and a couch and their favorite show to veg out, or a quiet nook in the corner under a fort that you make where they can decompress from a long, stressful day. Maybe it's a drink, some juice, or a snack, because they're just hungry. They didn't like what they had for lunch and they skipped a meal, or they're thirsty and they didn't recognize it. But you recognize it as the parent and are able to nurture them. So then after you nurture and they're settled, you move to T, which is think. What just happened? What caused it to happen? How could I have reacted differently? And what are the consequences, the natural consequences for this behavior that might need instituted? A lot of parents are all consequence and no nurture. And there are parents that are all nurture and no consequence. But children need both. They need consequences and effects. They have to understand cause and effect, and we do that by instituting consequences. But they also need nurture. And so in this thinking time, we take some moments to consider what disciplinary action might need taken and how we could have reacted or responded differently, and maybe what are some ways that we can prevent these meltdowns in the future in these transition moments. And lastly, S is for self-care. You need to care for you too. You need to put on your oxygen mask, take some deep breaths. You need to reward yourself for dealing with a difficult situation. And in the book, A to Z of Therapeutic Parenting, she mentions some examples of a mom who would give herself a piece of chocolate every time her child had a meltdown. A mom who had her own reward chart that she got a little sticker, a little star every time her child had a meltdown for being the mommy that put up with it. Maybe you've had a really rough week of behavior with your kid and you schedule yourself some time away. Maybe you go for a walk, or you get your nails done, or get pampered in some way. Take care of you so that you can be the best parent for them. Then when we go back to reconnecting with our child, we're doing it from a much healthier state. So take some time for self-care. So there it is. Parents, pause, assess, reflect, empathize, nurture, think, and self-care. I hope this helps you. And if so, maybe share it with somebody else. We're going to start launching a moms group in September. If you're local and you're looking for some other moms that are going through it, and you're looking for strategies to help your child in all different kinds of ways, feel free to join us. Signups will happen in 2 weeks, and it starts mid-September on Wednesdays at 7. Anyway, either way, I hope this helps you, and you have a great day. God bless.